action. So cast your eyes to the water. Jbay Faulkner, big floater. Oh, you can hear the oohs and ahs from the deck going down. There's Jbay. Surfer in the white. Luke Thompson is going to give this one a bash. He's going to hop off the back and look to establish that priority. We got 20 minutes on the clock, surfers. 20 minutes remaining in this heat. So guys, we just want to give another big thank you to our sponsors down here, Corona, Red Bull. We've been seeing some really cool Red Bull activations over the last couple days. Brian Kappa, 11-time Enduro Trials rider on the motorbike, has been doing some stunts. So I'm sure we'll see him back tomorrow. So stick around over the next couple days if you'd like to see some of the events and the Red Bull activations. We've got lots of things happening with Corona as well. So today, being the 19th, we've got Corona Mixology classes, as well as Sunset Hour and Bingo at Casa Corona. So that's going to be happening from 4 p.m. onwards. So if you guys would like to go and join in on that, they had a really cool surf premiere there last night, as well as some karaoke. So plenty of cool things. It's definitely worthwhile to hang around after the contest. So huge thank you, Corona, for hosting and for making sure that there's plenty of activities down here. There's a really cool area down the beach as well, just to chill in, play some volleyball. So thanks to all the crew from Corona. And surfers, we've got 18 minutes remaining in this heat. So the score to beat in this one is a 6.83, dropped in by our surfer in the white, Luke Thompson. Jbay Faulkner, your top wave is a 5.17. And Adriano de Souza, your top wave of 4.0. So to take the lead, you're going to look to find something higher than a 6.83. So of course, guys, this contest is not working the same way that any WSL event would work. So it is an event where the twin fins as well as the thrusters, we've got 17 minutes. So 17 minutes remaining will be combined for a heat total. So that combination of the twin fin heats as well as the thruster heat, the top score in each heat, will contribute to a grand total for each surfer to send them through to the next round. So just over 16 minutes. And next up, we're going to be moving into a really cool heat. Man, I'm so excited to see the next heat. Greg Emsley, Matt Wilkinson, Stephen Sawyer, Josh Kerr. There's no other place in the world that you get to have an event like this. So WSL Africa, we applaud you. It's been such a pleasure being down here. And it took so much work to get this event up and going. Of course, the local crew as well. So Ari, Vanji, the whole crew, we really appreciate your efforts.
14 minutes to go. So Luke Thompson leads with a 6.83. Jose Faulkner in blue with a 5.17. And Adriana de Souza, surfer in red, with a 4-point ride. So Jose Faulkner further up the point on a smaller looking wave. He's just keeping a nice high line, working this one through. So when we say, and when we talk about a high line at Super Tubes, when you're wanting to get through these big long sections, the higher you are on the wave, the more speed you can generate to travel across the face of the wave. So all your speed on a wave is in the top third. So as you drop a bit lower, you don't get as much speed. So generally we say the only time you're at the bottom of the wave is on your bottom turn. So you'll see the surfers getting very hard just under that lip, and they'll keep trimming the board, especially when there's a fast section. And then as it gets closer down towards in front of the tower, which we call the car park section, the wave slows down slightly, and it allows the surfers to come off the bottom and off the top, hard off the bottom, hard off the top, as Graham Hines was talking about earlier, and that's where your big scoring potential comes. But of course, when you get to this inside section, the more speed you have generated, obviously the bigger your maneuvers are going to be. And since the beginning of time, the judging criteria has always started with the word speed. They talk about speed, power, and flow. Of course, now we have added words like critical surfing. We talk about variety, innovative surfing. We're also now looking at the twin fins, which is our classic surfboards, but old school. So style comes into it. Also look at things like a bit of footwork, positioning. So all comes into play here with the twin fin heats that we have on offer today. So 10 minutes remaining in heat one of the men's twin fin. So huge welcome down to the Jbay Classic. Huge thank you to sponsors Corona, as well as Red Bull. Grab yourself a bucket of Corona. And this is our mid-year meeting point of surfing in South Africa. It's a place we come to watch surfers at the world's best right-hand point break. We get to see old friends, talk stories, and have a good time. It's all about surfing here, folks. And no better place to be in South Africa right now than here where we are at Supertube's Jeffreys Bay. Lots of activities in and around the town. In between the surfing, take a walk through the park. Check out the Corona pop-up store. 600 Rand will buy you a Corona cooler box. Really cool little cooler box with an aluminium lining. Fits 12 Coronas with ice. It's got a bottle opener on the side. Really cool, as well as some other gifts in the pop-up store. Check out our food stalls. We've got 10 different food stalls to go and get some lunch. Otherwise, Casa Corona is a good place to be. Go and get a couple of ice cold beers. Corona Cero. Grab yourself a Red Bull. Well, of course, our Dawn Patrol wines. You can get the Sauvignon Blanc, the Rosé, the Chenin Blanc. But having a look at our lineup, Jose Faulkner up and over that first section, floats and drifts over the next turn again, free falling and nice little snap, and rides out of that maneuver. So remember, these are twin fins, so looking really strong and nice flow from our goofy foot surfer from Jeffreys Bay, Jose Faulkner. So Jose getting good support from the local crowd. So a huge thank you again to our official wine sponsor of the Jbay Surf Festival, Dawn Patrol Wines. So we are approaching the 5-minute mark here. It's 5.5 minutes to go. So 5.5 to go. Five minutes now, 5 minutes remaining. All right, last of blue comes in. It's a 5.83. So that is the best score for Jose Faulkner in blue, a 5.83. So our current men's leaderboard is Luke Thompson on top, Jose Faulkner in second, with Adriana de Souza in third. So Luke Thompson with a 6.83, solid score. Jose Faulkner holds that 5.83, and surfer in red, Adriana de Souza with a 4-point ride. All right, we're just doing some precautionary pickups. So just a couple of precautionary pickups for our water patrol. So we have put the heater on hold. All right, so our water safety has spotted some wildlife in the zone, so we're just doing a precautionary pickup, folks. So everything is fine, we're just taking some precautions here. Oh, there we go. So folks, we got a bit of wildlife. So our water patrol with the drones and their expertise keeping our surfers safe here. All right, folks, so we will be on hold for a little while. All right, folks, so we did have a bit of wildlife in the area. One of our friends doing a bit of sunbathing in the Super Tubes lineup. And of course, like us, we also wanted to see some of the surfing action. We've got our expert T water safety on hand. So great to have this team keeping our surfers safe.
One for the lonely hearts, for the ones that fear the dark. You better run out of here. Bet you can't look the other way. Here's one for the broken road. That's the only one you know. You better run out, truth or dare. Get me out, take me anywhere but here. Anywhere but here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, while we are on hold, it's a good time to head towards the Casa Corona. Get yourself a nice ice cold beverage. So water safety will just take their time to assess the situation. So we are on hold, and it does give us all time to go get a bucket of Corona. So just a leaderboard situation for the moment while we are on hold. We do see currently the first men's heat in the water, and Luke Thompson in white holds the top score of a 6.83. We saw Jose Faulkner with a 5.83 and Adriana de Souza with a 4-point ride. And in the ladies, we do see Coco Ho with an 8.83 in the lead. Sarah Baum in second with an 8.33. Sally Fitzgibbons, Stephanie Gilmore in third with a 7.56. 6.17, and Sally Fitzgibbons in fourth with a 6.33. So just a note to any free surfers, the event area will stay clear for our competition. So no surfers are to enter the water at this stage. So once again, thank you to our official sunglass sponsors, Oakley. And they also provide a special deep water polarized lens. And with those lenses, they are made for fishing. All right, folks, so I do have an update for you. We had a positive sighting of a shark in our lineup, and our water safety has followed that shark out of the lineup. Our surfers have all want to carry on with the heat, and by safety regulation, we have to give at least 15 minutes before we restart. So we'll be looking at restarting that heat at 5 to 3. Of course, all our safety precautions are in place. And the water safety did spot the shark long before it hit the lineup. So all the precautions have been taken with our expert team. So that heat in the water has 3 minutes and 13 seconds remaining. So when we resume, we will start where that heat ended off. So that's in 15 minutes from now, 5 to 3. Grab a Corona, chill out. We're going to get ready to reset here. All right, so once again, surfers, we will be getting underway in about 10 minutes from now. So I'm just speaking a bit louder so that the folk at the top of the point can hear me, the surfers in the next heat. So we will be getting underway at 5 to 3. And the current heat in the water has 3 minutes and 13 seconds to go. Of course, our surfers will regain position and they keep to their current priority, which is Adriano de Souza has first priority, Luke Thompson has second priority, and Jose Faulkner has third priority. So all will resume as it was. And just remember, surfers in the heat, you cannot enter the water until 5 to 3. And that is by our official rules. All right, so once again, just a quick correction on that time. Surfers in that heat 1, your correct time will be 3 minutes and 23 seconds. So the official timer has 3 minutes and 23 seconds remaining on it. And just under 10 minutes until we get underway. Time for one quick Corona. So folk, once again, huge thank you to our safety team. The water safety, we've got aerial surveillance drone, we've got an aerial surveillance plane, we've got tower spotters, water safety team, water safety supervisors. So we've got a real strong team here to keep our athletes safe. Of course, we want to protect the wildlife as well of Jeffreys Bay. This is what makes up Super Tubes and Jeffreys Bay such a special place. We see our friends coming through the lineup to visit us from time to time. The real locals, the Dolphins, surf the waves better than all of us. And it's part of the magic of Jeffreys Bay. So surfers in that next heat, in the current heat, you can start paddling out in 5 minutes from now, so just hold positions. We've got another 5 minutes before you can paddle out. All right, folks, so we're about 2 minutes away before our surfers may enter the lineup. But just checking the conditions, there's been quite a few waves rolling down the point, so some positive signs for the afternoon of surfing. Looking really forward to restarting here. So surfers, just hold your positions at the channel. I will tell you when you can start your paddle out. Oh, so some waves tubing down the point here. All right, so surfers in the current heat, you can start paddling out and we will wait for you to be in position before we start the heat. So surfers in that heat can make their way into the water. All right, so surfers in the current heat, you can start paddling out. Once you are in the lineup, we will resume your heat with 3 minutes and 23 seconds remaining. Of course, surfers in the next heat can also start paddling out because it's under the 5-minute mark. And just looking at the consistency of the ocean, in my opinion, during the lull of action, there's been a few more waves coming through. So you might need those couple of minutes to get into the lineup. So surfers are making their way back out at supers. Our water patrol is in position. So just a quick note, we do have Adriano de Souza holding first priority, Luke Thompson with second priority, and Jose Faulkner with third priority. And it does look like Adriano de Souza's opted not to paddle back out for the last 3 minutes. So his priority will be suspended once the heat starts. So automatically that will mean Luke Thompson will have first priority, Jose Faulkner will have second priority. So no surfing from our surfers. Please hold your positions. So look at this tactical move. It looks like Jose Faulkner's used this opportunity to change equipment. So let's see how this works for him. Love it. Why not? Take the last 3 minutes, try something different. He's had 42 minutes to test the other board out. All right, surfers in the water, set your watches for 3 minutes and 23 seconds, counting you down in 3, 2, 1. All right, we are back underway. Heat 1. So currently, Luke Thompson with the highest wave, a 6.83. Jose Faulkner has a 5.83. Adriano de Souza with a 4-point ride. We're down to 3 minutes remaining. 3 minutes remain. And once again, thanks to our official eyewear sponsor, Oakley Sunglasses, providing us with the deep water polarized lenses here. Pacific Ocean lenses. Absolutely fantastic for surfing and fishing and all ocean users. Two minutes.
Something good to come, waiting for things to run away from.
90 seconds. So we see coming up next, Matt Wilkinson in red, Stephen Sawyer, local surfer, in blue, and Josh Kerr in white. One minute.
Here's one for the lonely hearts, for the ones that fear the dark. You better run out of here.
30 seconds.
Here's one for the broken road. That's the only one you know. You better run out, truth or dare.
20 seconds. And it looks like Jose Faulkner's not going to get a chance to test out that second surfboard. The ocean's looking pretty flat. And we're going to count this one out in 3, 2, 1. All right, so Luke. All right, hold your position. Surfers in the next heat. Set your watches. Counting down in 3, 2, 1. All right, so it is Luke Thompson on top of the leaderboard with a 6.83. Jose Faulkner in second with a 5.83. Adriano de Souza in third with a 4-point ride. So we've reset for heat number 2. This is the twin fin heat, and we've got Matt Wilkinson in red, Stephen Sawyer in blue, Josh Kerr in white. A new fresh 45 minutes on the clock. Of course, it is the one wave that counts, that goes towards their final score. We do see a paddle up on the point. That is Stephen Sawyer, local surfer, up and over that section, rips off that turn. And that is, I'll tell you right now what surfboard he's riding. He's changed up from this morning. He was on his dad's board this morning, the Des Sawyer 6-2.
These times have made me think of what is right and wrong.
So the board that Stevie's on is actually the same board that Sarah Baum surfed on, and she scored that 8.33. It's the Sharma Buttonshaw SB twin fin, so 511. Worked really well. Worked really well for Sarah Baum, so Stevie Sawyer opting to go on that board, and he's hoping to have the same fortune. Clever move. 43 minutes to go. Although I must say, if my dad could shape surfboards, I'd probably ride my dad's board. But he does. Stevie was ripping on that board this morning from Des, his dad. Said he came home and Des had shaped, glassed, everything, got this board ready. It looked good, but it's a 6-2, so the slightly smaller conditions, Stevie's gone for the 511. He said if there was a little bit more pushback on the waves, maybe a foot bigger, 100% is on his dad's board, the 6-2 twin fin. Sure, but what a kiff afternoon, eh? Time to hit that Casa Corona. Lekker. And this is just our surfers making their way in from that last heat. And this is Stevie Sawyer. So a smaller wave, but lots of time. He wants to feel out this board.
Have you ever been destroyed, waiting for that call? Growing sick within your heart, but it never shows.
An interesting looking board. You can see it's got lots of drive, but it also looks like it needs a little bit more open face. Jose looked like he went onto the Smith shape. So, if we're fortunate enough over the next couple of days, and conditions do play ball, we are hoping to run 2 rounds of the twin fin and 2 rounds of the normal standard thruster boards. And remember, it is a hybrid formula. So we got a leaderboard, but the leaderboard does cross over the 2 board styles. So this round 1 is the twin fin board, so that's got 2 fins in it. And round 2 will be your standard short board. So your standard short board is the thruster, the 3 fin. So the thruster is what your pros use on a day-to-day basis and in most competition. And the twin fin is your more classic style of surfing, your more old school, stylish type of surfing, bit more positioning. So it's cool to see the 2 formats being run here. So just a couple of small scores in there for surfer in blue, Steve Sawyer, a 2.67 and a 0.93. And a paddle for third wave for Stephen Sawyer. Up and riding. Oh, that's a nice turn. So starting to feel this board now. Lots of section ahead. Keeping that high line trim, that speed. Loads up. Oh, critical on that turn. So vicious sting on that backhand. Does Stephen Sawyer possess? %, he took note of what Sarah Baum was doing on that board. So the bigger set waves are a little bit inconsistent here. So Stephen just working these mid-size waves. The big asset's going to be the surfer that holds priority when those good set waves do come through. And we've got a paddle here for Josh Kerr. Kersey loves the twin fins. One of the best twin fin surfers in the world, up and riding in front of us. Ripping through that turn. Up and over that section. Beautiful, clean looking wall. Floats. And another drifting floater. So looking stylish on that wave. Josh Kerr. So we do have Matt Wilkinson waiting patiently at the back. He does now hold that first priority as well. Wilco, as he's affectionately known. And Wilco has also got a really critical backhand. He's a goofy footer, surfs with his right foot forward, and here he goes. A lot of wall ahead. He's going to have to get that board trimming. He needs a high line. Can he get around? He just gets up and into that section. Unfortunately, he's not going to come through that tube. So just not quite getting enough high line pumps at the start of that wave. So last of Stephen Sawyer came through at a 4.17. So last of blue a 4.17. First of red a 0.83. And first of white, Josh Kerr, a 6.33. First of white a 6.33. So looking at our leaderboard for the moment in the men's, we've got Luke Thompson in first with a 6.83. Josh Kerr with a 6.33. Jose Faulkner has a 5.83. And Stephen Sawyer with a 4.17. Those are your top four for now. So we got 32 minutes remaining. Plenty of time left in this heat. Up next, surfers will be warming up in our Red Bull athlete zone. And warm up they can. They've got exercise bikes, a little sauna, jacuzzi, everything they need. And up next we'll see Frederico Moraes, Tidley Island, and Michael February. Stephen Sawyer paddling into this one. And he's up and riding. Snaps off the top. Staying critical on this wave. Just going to come through the inside section here. And a little floater to finish. Josh Kerr with the best score so far in this heat. Sure, so much speed. Look at that turn. And drifts the floater. So the one major maneuver. That was a great turn. Josh Kerr has competed here at Jeffreys Bay. He's made a semi-final here before, as well as 2 quarterfinals. Your surfer in red, Matt Wilkinson's also had a good history at Jbay, getting a 3rd place in 2014. As we see Wilco up and riding. He's just wrapping some good turns on the backhand. So he gets out there, figures he's going to hold priority. And who remembers that quarterfinal heat against Kelly Slater in 2014? Matt Wilkinson scoring 18.36 and won his best wave in that heat being a 9.77. He's doing those big driving grab rail bottom turns into that vertical attack. And when Matt Wilkinson gets it right and gets it on that rail, it's amazing how critical he can go on this wave and still keep up with the speed of the wave. It's one of the best I've seen. It's very easy to get a lot of speed and not do too much on the Jbay wall. But Wilco has got a technique where he keeps the speed up and manages to get super critical. "26 minutes to go." Second score coming in for Wilco, a 2.83. Last wave for Stephen Sawyer, a 4.57. So, Stephen Sawyer, your last wave, a 4.57. It's your best score. And last of White, a 4.4. So, Josh Kerr up and riding again here. Snapping off the top. Brilliant board trim. Oh, that's a good floater. So getting a lovely snap off the top. But just love how he speeded over that floater, went almost behind the wave and then hopped over the front for that clean landing. Right, last of White, a 5.07. So a good score, but Josh Kerr's first ride is still his top number, the 6.33. So last of White was a 5.07. 23 minutes remaining. All right, Matt Wilkinson in position. A lot of paddle power, lots of wall ahead for him. He gets that high line trim I was speaking about. Now he comes off the bottom. Nice wrap off the top to start. Slices off the maneuver there. Keeps some calves going, and a nice critical down calf to finish. So that's looking better for Wilco. So remember our standings for the moment in the men. As that last score comes in for red. 6 points. Last of red, 6 points. So Luke Thompson has the highest score on our leaderboard, the 6.83. Followed by Josh Kerr with a 6.33. Matt Wilkinson now with 6 points. And Stephen Sawyer with a 4.57. Is that going to change? We see hands in the air, we hear whistling. We see jockeying for position in the lineup. Josh Kerr having a look at the first wave. Josh Kerr up and riding. Flying down the line here. Rips off the top. Stephen Sawyer paddling in behind. Josh Kerr over and out. Up into that section is Kersey. And way down the point here, on a nice solid wall, Matt Wilkinson. Vertical attack. Snaps and slices. Drives off the bottom. Spins the tail. Solid maneuver to finish. So Matt Wilkinson coming alive here. Taking opportunities. Under priority. Local surfer, Steve Sawyer, a bit too far up the point. Matt Wilkinson swinging through the car park section and attacking 3 solid maneuvers. And here goes Stevie now, working his way through to the car park. Kicks and out. It's all about the one big score here. So good exchange between Josh Kerr, Matt Wilkinson. 20 minutes to go. I'll tell you what, Matt Wilkinson reminds me a little bit of a puff adder. Sits there very quietly, looks a little bit slow, and then he strikes. And when he strikes quickly. And he just had a series of exceptionally strong maneuvers there. So I always love to see the old guard, the guys that have been on tour, retired. Think about Oki, Josh Kerr, Matt Wilkinson, Adriana de Souza. They seem fairly chilled and not that competitive because they've retired until the heat starts, and then everything changes. And their competitive spirit is back, and they start feeling it. That last wave coming in for Josh Kerr. So just a couple of scores coming in here. Last score for Josh Kerr was 5 points. So Josh, your best score is still your first ride of a 6.33. But the score we're waiting for is last of red. Previous of red was a 6-point ride. And there it is, last of red. Straight to the top of the leaderboard, 7.33. So Matt Wilkinson, your last wave, 7.33. So Matt Wilkinson takes the lead on our hybrid leaderboard. Luke Thompson has the second highest score with a 6.83. Josh Kerr, you have the third highest score of a 6.33. And Jose Faulkner in fourth with a 5.83. 17 minutes in this heat to go. So a huge thank you to our sponsors here at the Jbay Classic. Corona, Red Bull, the Kucha Municipality, Eastern Cape Provincial Government, House of Mandela, the Freedom Project, Sealand, Dawn Patrol Wines and Grit, bringing us this fantastic action. We're watching the surfers riding the twin fin surfboards out here, putting on a display of great surfing. And here we go, our current heat leaderboard surfer, Matt Wilkinson on a smaller wave. Check out that style. He's just having a bit of fun. So remember, when a surfer has priority, they get the choice of the next wave, unobstructed, so they can place themselves in the lineup where they want to take off on that wave in the zone. Currently, Stephen Sawyer in blue has that trump card, the priority. Josh Kerr's holding on to second priority. So your third surfer in the heat, Matt Wilkinson, he's sort of just going to catch a few waves while he doesn't have priority. 15 minutes to go. But let's not forget, he is leading our leaderboard with a 7.33. And that wave came under priority. He wasn't holding priority at the time. And he picked that wave up off what we call the car park section, which is in front of the tower. Managed to get those 3 critical maneuvers in and being rewarded the 7.33. So have a look at Stevie Sawyer in blue. He knows this ocean. He's standing up on his board, having a look over the back of this wave to see what he can see. He does hold that priority we've spoken of. But he's not going to choose this wave. He's decided that Josh Kerr can have a look. And we see Josh Kerr up and riding. Drives off the bottom. Rips a beautiful carve into a slide. So he gets a bit of variety and innovation on that first turn. On the twin fin, I might add. Oh, and how's that rip? Off the top and rides out. So what about some variation? We talk about criticalness. You can't always push that twin fin so hard because it won't hold. But Josh really pushing that forward nicely. And this is Wilco behind. Oh, drifts the tail. So let's see where those scores go. But Josh Kerr really swinging for the hills on those turns. Just thinking about that last ride of Josh Kerr, and just, you know, for those that do surf, if you think about when you are on a twin fin, you don't really want to get that critical because it does become a bit tricky. So you keep on the face, you keep everything clean and smooth and easy. But we think about Josh Kerr, how critical he got on those turns, the change of direction, and there was no catch in that board at all. Plus, he managed to hold through those turns. So quite a point of difference there for me. But it was just 2 turns. Yes, there were a couple turns in the middle, but that first turn and the last turn of Josh Kerr was just something for me. Was nice. I'll tell you what, the other people that thought it was pretty good were our judges, because they have rewarded it. They've rewarded it well, folks, and they've gone into the excellent category for the last white. So to the top of the leaderboard goes Mr. Josh Kerr, because he has just dropped an 8.17. So last score coming in for white, an 8.17. Josh Kerr, top of the leaderboard. Matt Wilkinson, you are now down to second on the leaderboard with a 7.33. Luke Thompson, you are third with a 6.83. And Jose Faulkner down in fourth, holding that last spot at this stage with a 5.83. So what I'm talking about is our hybrid format, where we will be adding both short boards and twin fin heats together, their best scoring wave from each board style, and then we will end up with our top 4 surfers when we get to semi-final stage of competition. We'll then go into our normal bracket format, semi-finals, which will be person on person, and then into the finals. So Josh Kerr, that last score coming in at an 8.17, the highest score of our men's rounds so far, and he takes the lead. And he's not going to stop here, he's going to keep riding waves. Trimming through this little barrel section, just gets caught up by the lip. So Stephen Sawyer, our local surfer, holding priority. I certainly don't feel we've come close to seeing the best of Stevie yet. He'll be looking at this ocean going, come on, Jbay, you owe me a good wave. Although we never feel that the ocean owes us anything, but he has spent a lot of time in this lineup. He'll be willing it in. Josh Kerr on the inside. Nice little wide section car park wall. Oh, slashing off the top. Stephen Sawyer on the one behind. Josh floats up and over. Stephen working this one through. Oh, and just goes for the little rotation. So just something I've noticed is Stephen's taken off on some of those waves and they look like they got that wall ahead of him, but they seem to be the second wave of the set that are just hitting a little bit of that foam line. And once you get that white foam on the wave, it's pretty much like going 120 on a highway and you hit a dirt road with all that bump, and now you're trying to turn the steering wheel and keep control. Gets a little bit tricky. So the cleaner the wall with that blue, green, sort of open face, that's what you want to see ahead of you, and it just keeps it nice and free and clean. So waiting for that last exchange, Josh Kerr has just been racking up the points. Another very good wave for Josh Kerr. So waiting for that score, of course. That previous ride with that 8.17 has him on top of the leaderboard. 6 minutes remaining. So if you're just shifting into Jeffreys Bay down at Super Tubes, we are in heat number 2 of the men. We've got 5 minutes remaining, surfers, 5 minutes to go. And our surfers are surfing in the short board, in the twin fin division of our hybrid format. And Josh Kerr, your last wave, a 7.7. So Josh Kerr is actually throwing that score out, a 7.7. Great score, but of course he has an 8.17. And with that 8.17, he is on top of the leaderboard. So Josh Kerr actually holding the 2 highest scores of the men so far. But he can only take one of those scores with him. So he'll take the 8.17. He'll be at the top of the leaderboard. Matt Wilkinson in second with a 7.33. Luke Thompson holding down third with a 6.83. And Jose Faulkner in fourth with a 5.83. So Matt Wilkinson in red has that first priority. Pretty deep on this one, but he's having a look. He's got some wall ahead of him. Speeding up. Driving off the bottom. Snaps the first turn. Drifts the tail on the second turn, and he's out of there. Just lost his footing a bit. We see surfers entering the water for the next heat. Coming up next, we got Frederico Moraes in red. Tardley Island will be in blue, and Michael February in white. 2 minutes 20 to go. All right, so 90 seconds on the clock. First priority with Stephen Sawyer in blue. Second priority is white. Third priority, red. So surfers, just so you know, first priority with blue. Second priority, white. Third priority, red. So that is just a call from our head judge to announce the priority a bit more, because we start getting a little bit of afternoon glare and a bit of sun behind the tower. So it does become a bit of a struggle for our athletes to sometimes see our LED priority boards. So we'll just give them the extra announcement. Under 1 minute to go. Are we going to see some more action in this heat? Let's see. 40 seconds. And paddling. Last 30 seconds. Up and riding. Steve Sawyer. Can he get to work here? Snaps off the top. Lots of spray. Draws that high line speed. Drives up the bottom. 20 seconds to go. Comes around. Stylish snap. Vertical climb. Holds on. And there's 10 seconds to go. So, decent looking ride there for Stevie. We're going to count this one out. In 3, 2, 1. All right, surfers in the water, set your watches for the countdown. In 3, 2, 1. Right, so we did see that last wave of Stephen Sawyer come through at a 5.83. So just looking at the leaderboard now. Josh Kerr is in the lead with a 8.17. Matt Wilkinson in second with a 7.33. Luke Thompson in third with a 6.83, and Stephen Sawyer and Jose Faulkner, I believe, are tied for fourth with a 5.83. I'm going to hand you over to Johan to chat you through the next heat.
Thank you so much, Greg. Man, that was a really exciting one to watch. That 817 drops in from Josh Kerr. Really smooth, powerful surfing from the Australian. Showing his experience out here in the lineup at Super Tubes. Of course, Matt Wilkinson's top wave was a 7.33, so that goes into his score line. And Stephen Sawyer drops a 5.83. So some good surfing there from all three of our surfers. And we'll see them back in the thruster heats, which will take place in the next couple days, hopefully sooner than later. So this is the twin fin round 1 heat number 3 that's gotten underway. So introducing our surfers in the lineup, all the way from Portugal. In the red, we've got Frederico Moraes. Tidley Island is the local surfer in the blue. And in the white, we've got the very stylish Mikey February. So really exciting to see what these surfers can do. As you can see, the tide has started to swing and just drop out just ever so slightly. And this is our surfer up and riding. That looks like it was the previous heat. So just exiting the lineup there. Josh Kerr took out the top score in the last one at an 8.17. So if you guys have just joined us, good afternoon. Down here at the Jbay Classic, presented by Corona. So it's 10 to 4 in the afternoon, and it's been a great day of competition. We're really stoked on the outcome of today. So this morning we showed up here. Conditions are looking a little bit small. We started off throughout the morning with the team challenge. And the team Steph Gilmore taking out the win, ahead of Team Aki and Team D'Souza. And then we went into the twin fin heats. So we saw 2 heats from the ladies. Definitely a standout in the ladies. Coco Ho dropping an excellent ride, as well as Sarah Baum. So excellent scores have been dropped today. And then we moved into the men's. This is heat number 3 of the men's. And we've been seeing some good surfing. We had a little bit of a break. Wildlife interrupting us a couple hours ago. And we saw an excellent ride in the last heat, an 8.17 for the Australian Josh Kerr. So let's see what these 3 surfers can give us in heat number 3 of the twin fins. So if you've just gotten down here and you're not sure how the format works, it's a really unique surf competition, Jbay Classic. It's a speciality event, so it doesn't fall part of the Challenger Series, the Championship Tour, or the QS. So it was an invitee list that was sent out to some of the top pros in the world, as well as past champions. We had a trials as well. Local surfers are given the opportunity to make it through to the main contest. So Sarah Baum taking out the win for the ladies in the trials, and Luke Thompson taking out the win for the men in the trials. So we saw them today in the opening rounds of the main contest. Meanwhile, another local surfer that got the opportunity. Here he goes, Tidley Island. So just a carve off the top there on the 20. Really exciting to see Tide styling it on 2 fins as well. And we're going to have a paddle out of the back. And here we go, Mr. Mikey February up and riding, cruising down the point, high-lining it, looking for his little speed pocket. That's a nice turn. Waft of spray off the top of his board. Another turn off the top, floats the section, Mikey Feb. So looking good on this board. A nice carve in the pocket and looking for a strong finish. Lay back to finish off. So put your hands together, Michael February. That's a good start from the surfer in the whites. Of course, local South African surfer based out of Cape Town. Also one of the top free surfers around the world. So what an honor to have him down here at the contest. And that's going to look like it's going to be a good opening score. And then we got the likes of Frederico Moraes. So Frederico from Portugal. He's got lots of experience on the championship tour. And it's great to have him down here as well. So Frederico spent 6 years on tour. His best rank in the championship tour was 10th in 2021. And his best challenge, CT event was actually right here at Jbay in 2017 with a 2nd place. I remember that year scoring that beautiful 10-point ride with those turns like it was yesterday, Frederico Moraes. So he's definitely no stranger to Jeffreys Bay. He's had a 10 out here before. And he's been runner-up at the contest before. So, of course, this contest structured a little bit differently, but still really exciting to see the guys up and running in the twin fin division over here. The first score for Blue, Tide Lee, comes through at a 2.50. That's a 2.50, Tide Lee Island. And the first score coming in for Mikey February, it's a 7.33. That's a 7.33 for Mikey Feb. So that's a pretty good opening score for the South African in the white. So he high-lined the beginning, he got lots of speed, he timed his turns really nicely. And a solid opening score there for Mikey Feb. And the heat coming up next, guys, you shouldn't go anywhere. Reason being is it's another really good-looking one. We've got Aki coming up along with Sean Holmes and James Ribbink. What an opportunity for the young man, James Ribbink, getting to surf a heat out in Jbay with Aki and Sean Holmes, two of the most legendary surfers out here at this break. So sitting out the back with priority is our surf in the red. Red in first priority. And watching our surfer in the white. So Tide is going switch. He's going for the barrel, the switch barrel. Wow, okay, so Tide is a goofy foot surfer. And there he goes, trying to go for a little regular foot cover-up. Little shampoo on the inside for Tide Lee Island.
One for the lonely hearts, for the ones that fear the dark. You better run out out of here. Bet you can't look the other way. Here's one for the broken road. That's the only one you know. You better run out, truth or dare. Get me out, take me anywhere but here. Anywhere but here. Anywhere but here.
So that was Greg Emsley down in the athlete area interviewing Josh Kerr in the previous heat, taking out the win there. Well, the highest score belonged to him. It was an 8.17, an excellent ride. Man, I really enjoyed watching that heat. Josh Kerr, so smooth, throwing the power into those turns on the 20 as well, down the line. So that was some good surfing there to watch. And guys, we still got plenty of action down here. Still a couple of heats to go for the day. And so far we've seen a couple waves roll through. Last of blue, Todd Lee, a 3.33. So 3.33, Todd Lee, your top score. The top score, the first one for Mikey February, comes in at a 7.33. So white, your top score is 7.33. Blue, your highest score is a 3.33. Priority with red. First priority red. Second priority with white. Third priority goes to blue. And if you guys are just pulled in, make sure to go grab a nice ice cold bucket of Coronas. Find a spot on the beach for the grandstands and settle in. We got another stacked heat coming up next. We got Mark Oki Okalupo, Sean Holmes, and James Ribbink. So we have just got the info that there is going to be a really cool opportunity, a signing with some of our athletes down at Casa Corona after the last heats of the afternoon. So that's going to be around 5 o'clock this afternoon. There's going to be a signing with some of the athletes. So if you're a young fan, if you want to get some autographs, pull into Casa Corona at around 5 o'clock after the last heat of the day. There's going to be a signing with some of our South African pros as well as some of the international pros around. So it's going to be cool to get that opportunity. So pull into Casa Corona for the signing that's going to be happening with some of our athletes. Big thank you once again, Corona, our presenting sponsor here at the Jbay Classic. So they've got tons of things that have been going on. They've had the nice little beach area down the bottom, chill area. Looks pretty nice, pretty fancy as well. They've got the volleyball net, so go and play some volleyball down the beach. There'll be some volleyball tournaments throughout the week. And they've had plenty of things on offer to do. And here we go, up and riding, Tidely Island, the Durban surfer, the local South African. And goes for a little 360 reverse there. He goes down, so it looks like he's having tons of fun. Tidely Island. It's been awesome to see his surfing progressing throughout the years. And watching our surf in the whites. This is Mikey February. He's going to just take a look and he's going to say, nah, lets that one go. Tide takes a look as well. But with plenty of time on the clock, 29 minutes remaining. These surfers don't want to waste their energy on waves that aren't too good. So they'll wait for more significant sets to roll down the point before they go. So just another reminder about the signing that's happening at Casa Corona. It's going to be with some of our athletes. So if you're a young fan, make sure that you go and attend the signing to get some of the autographs of the pros. I heard Tidely Island's going to be there. I heard Luke Thompson's going to be there. Possibly Matt Wilco, maybe a few others. Maybe Jose Faulkner will be there. So that's the signing at Casa Corona. It'll happen around 5 o'clock, a bit later this afternoon. And we're watching this under priority, Tidley Island. He's going to stall for the tube. He's in the barrel, and he's not going to come out. Watching this. Utilizing his priority, Frederico Moraes, the Portuguese surfer, up and riding. So no stranger to the walls of Jeffreys Bay. Carves it off the top. Mikey Febb, also up and riding out the back. So we'll stick with Frederico. That's a beautiful down carve for the surfer in the red. And he's going to look for a strong finish. Frederico Moraes. And he rides out of that one successfully. Surfer in the red. All the way from Portugal. He knows what it's like to score a 10-point ride out in Jeffreys Bay. And we'll see what the judges think. So no stranger to competition, Frederico Moraes. It's great to see him down here performing on the twin fin. Also saw an in and out there for Michael February. M-Feb just giving it a little go, hops off the back. So priority now with white, second priority with blue. And that last score for Frederico Moraes does come in. And put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. It's an excellent ride, an 8.0. That's an 8.0 for the first score, Frederico Moraes. We really want to hear you guys making some noise on the decks here. We've got some great action on offer. And some really good surfing. So that's an 8.0, the first score for Red. And watching Tide up and riding. He's going to pump this one down the line. Hops off the back. Leaves Mikey February out the back with priority. And watching on the inside, this is Frederico Moraes. Looking to improve upon that score. So the first of Red comes through at an 8.0. Excellent ride. That is a great start to the heat with 25 minutes remaining. So priority with the surf in the white, second priority blue. So Mikey February sitting with priority out the back. Of course, one of the most well-known free surfers in the world. What catapulted him to that stardom was his 1 year on tour in 2018. His best place finish was 5th at Tahiti that year in 2018. And of course, only spending a year on tour, but really launched his career to new heights. And it's great to see him in video parts all around the world, surfing some really cool equipment as well. Working with Channel Islands and bringing out some really iconic shapes and boards. So definitely an awesome thing to have him down here. Probably one of the most fitting surfers to have at the event, Mikey Feb. So he opened up with a 7.33. White, you're looking to improve upon a 7.33, your high score. Surf in the blue, your top score currently is a 3.33. You're looking to improve upon that number. And of course, the first score for Red, Frederico, an 8.0. So that is the highest wave of the heat to date. So as we have a little bit of a break in the sets, we'll just take the opportunity to ask you guys to please purchase a raffle ticket from the Jbay Surfing Foundation. It's 100 Rand for a ticket, and there's prizes up for grabs to worth the value of 50,000 Rand. Signed Geordie Smith surfboard, Visley or Sister Hamper, stay for 2 at African Perfection, and many, many more prizes. So it's $100 for a ticket. Scan the QR code at some of the kiosks. Otherwise, find the ladies walking around that are selling those tickets. So supporting the Jbay Surfing Foundation, local initiative to develop sustainable surfing around this coast and looking after the nature. And then we've of course got plenty of things on offer. We've had the Red Bull activations. We've had all the events hosted by Corona. We're going to have that signing just after the last heat of the day with some of our pros. So make sure that you get your pens ready, that you get your posters ready to be signed by some of the pros here at the event. That's going to be at Casa Corona after the last heat of the day. So work around 5 p.m. And man, there's no better place to be in the world than right here, right now, watching some of the best surfers rip the best right-hand point break in the world. Of course, a huge thank you once again to the Kocha local municipality. Thank you for all of your guys' work that you do behind the scenes. Hatting, the whole crew. We appreciate you guys. So without them, this would not be possible. We got 20 minutes remaining. That's 20 minutes on the clock. Currently, our surfer from Portugal, Frederico, is in the lead with an 8.0. That's his high score. Surf in the white, Mikey Febb, your highest score is 7.33. And Tidley Island, you're sitting with a 3.33. Priority with white. Second priority is with blue. Third priority is with red. So that's white in priority. Second priority blue. Third priority with red. 20 minutes remaining, surfers. So huge thank you to all of our sponsors down here at the events, including Corona and Red Bull. We've got a long list of sponsors. The House of Mandela, Sealand, Grit, Dawn Patrol Wines. So if you rather fancy a can of wine, they're available at the kiosks. Got a nice Sauvignon Blanc option, nice and crisp. There's a very cool Cinsault Rosé blend. There's a Syrah option as well. Nothing better than a nice red wine on a winter's evening. So go grab a bottle or a can of Dawn Patrol wines. Big thank you to them. They hosted the Wine Lines Expression session a few days ago. That was really fun to watch. And a huge thank you to our Water Patrol team. We really appreciate you guys, the work that you've been putting in, keeping our surfers safe. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. The whole crew from the Water Patrol team. So there's so many working hard behind the scenes to make this happen. Surfers, we've got 16 minutes remaining. 16 minutes on the clock. Priority is with white. Second priority blue. Third priority red. And up and riding. This is Tandy Island, the local, the South African boy. He's going to go down. So he's been keeping her really busy. And I know he's super grateful to get an opportunity here in the main event. So one of the local South African rippers, Tandy Island. So he's also going to represent, well, he has been representing South Africa on the Challenger Series. So we'll definitely see him in a week or so in Belito. So guys, just a reminder of the signing that's happening. So some of our athletes, competitors, I heard Luke Thompson is going to be there, Tide Lee is going to be there, maybe Jose Faulkner, Matt Wilkinson, a few others. That's at Casa Corona after the last heat of the day. That is the signing that's going to be happening. So if you're a fan and you'd like to get some signatures from the pros, pull in. Make sure you bring a cool poster or a pen for them to sign. I'm sure they'll have all of that there. But pull in for that. I'm sure it's going to be busy, so make sure that you don't go anywhere. So we'll meet around Casa Corona after the last heat. I'm assuming around 5 o'clock or so, the signing should start. So last of blue at 2.2. That does not factor as your top score. So Tide, you're still sitting with a 3.33. Marky Feb in the whites, your last score 3.67. So you're still sitting with that high score of a 7.33. And surfing the red, Federico Moraes with that high score of an 8.0. So currently the only excellent score so far in this heat. Of course, we saw an 8.17 dropped in from Josh Kerr in the previous heat. And we saw two 8-point rides in the ladies, Coco Ho, Sarah Baum. So plenty of good rides down here on day 6 of the Jbay Classic presented by Corona. And surfers, we got 13 minutes remaining, 13 minutes on the clock. So priority with white, second priority red, third priority blue. So 12-minute surfers, 12 minutes on the clock. First priority white, second priority red, third priority with blue. And watching this, Mfeb kicking hard at this one. He's going to paddle into this one. This is Mikey February. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful carve off the top. Cruising down the line. Ever so smooth. Bottom turn, wrap in the pocket for Mikey Feb. Hard off the bottom. Still progressing down the line towards the impossible section. That's a beautiful arcing turn. So still up and going on this one. Mikey Feb in the whites. That's a nice finishing layback. And you can hear this applause down from the beach. That was the local South African, Mikey Feb, looking to improve upon his score. That was some smooth surfing. And we got action out the back, up and riding Tidely Island in the blue. So tied on a foamy wave, Federico also up and riding. Both surfers kicking out the back. Whew, so lots of action down here. There was some great surfing there. Specifically liked the wave from the surf in the white, Mikey Feb. So he mixed it up really nicely. Smooth surfing, some good transitions. Getting a little tongue-tied. It's been a long day. And we'll see what the judges think. He currently owns the score. And he's looking to improve upon it. We got 10 minutes remaining, surfers. 10 minutes on the clock.
Without any thought, I keep moving on. I don't even care if my soul is gone. So many words that I should have said. Not concerned about how to live instead.
So the judges just chewing on that last score of Mikey February. So scores to come in soon. So I particularly like that one. And that score does drop in. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen. This is the highest score so far in the 20 division. It's a 9.0. So that's a 9.0 for Michael February on that last wave. That was some smooth surfing, some great transitions, some good high lines. He timed those turns to perfection. Some beautiful carves, snapped to the lip, and ended off with that strong drop wallet layback maneuver. So that's a 9.0. So that so far is the highest score that we've seen of the event, not just in the twin fin division, but in the whole contest. And congratulations. That was some great surfing on offer. So Federico, you're now looking for a wave higher than a 9 to take out the top score of the heat. It's the same for Tidely Island. So Mikey Feb with that 9.0 showing us that there's some great potential still on these waves. Surf in the blue, he's still sitting with a 3.33, looking to improve upon that. With our surfer in the red, Federico, with a solid score of an 8.0. So remember, guys, that nobody's going to get knocked out. It's not the same as any other contest. This is a speciality event hosted here in Jeffreys Bay. It's the first of a kind. And this is the twin fin division. These surfers will then move into the thrusters within the next coming days. And the top score in the twin fin will be combined with the top score in the thrusters. So the best single ride for each surfer will be taken and combined with the thruster top score. That will then be placed together, and the surfers with the best combinations of the two thruster and twin fin will advance through to the next round. So it's equally as important, twin fin and thruster. It's 50-50. You've got to do well on both the twin fins and the thrusters. So Mikey Feb showing us that he has got what it takes on the 20. He'll have to back it up with the thruster as well. But we're watching some of the most talented surfers in the world. These guys can ride any type of equipment and make it look good. So what a blessing to see these guys in action on the 20s. So 7 minutes remaining. We've got 7 minutes on the clock. Surfers priority now with red. Second priority blue. Third priority with white. So guys, just remember about the signing that's going to take place after the last heat of the day. So that last heat of the day will be the heat coming up next. That's heat number 4 of the Twin Fins. We'll see Mark Okalupo, Oki, Sean Holmes, and James Ribbink. So those surfers will be making their way out into the lineup pretty soon. So that Corona signing will take place at Casa Corona. Assuming it's going to be around 5 p.m. You'll get to get the autographs of some of the pros down here at the events. Watching Federico. So gets up and going on this wave. A couple nice carves in the pocket. Some smooth surfing down the line. He kicks off the back. So he's looking to improve upon a score of an 8.0. He's got a really solid score in his arsenal. And he'll most likely definitely take that score through to the next round. It will aid him in his journey along this contest. Five-minute surfers. This is your 5-minute time call for the Twin Fin Round 1 Heat number 3. So under 5 minutes on the clock. Guys, it's almost time for Casa Corona to start pumping, so make sure you get down there. So Greg Emsley has been up to Casa Corona, and he confirms that it's already pumping up there. So I'm sure the music is only going to get louder, it's going to get better. The beers are going to get colder throughout the evening. So pull into Casa Corona and get a nice ice-cold bucket of Coronas. We've also got the Corona Zero as well, that's just been launched in South Africa, so super exciting to have that. And making his way down the boardwalk, our surfers in the next heat. Really exciting one. Don't go anywhere, guys. Oki, Sean Holmes, James Ribbink. Man, what an opportunity for the young man, James Ribbink, getting to surf a heat out at Super Tubes with 2 legends here at Jbay. So 3.5 minutes to go, surfers. 3.5 on the clock. Priority is with blue. Second priority with white. So a little recap of this heat so far. Tidy Island sitting with a 3.33. He's been really busy throughout the course of this one. Frederico Moraes from Portugal drops in an 8.0 to start off his heat. And that is still sitting on the top of his scoreline. Last of red, a 4.23. So that 8.0 is going to take Frederico through to the next round, that's for sure. And it's going to be vital in his scoreline. Then we also got Mikey February. He dropped in that 9.0. That was so far the best way that we've seen all event long. Some smooth, stylish surfing. He mixed it up with some power. He threw a beautiful drop wallet layback to end it off as well. So we saw some really good surfing in this heat. And I do predict that it's going to be just as good in the next one, so don't go anywhere. Grab a nice Corona or maybe a Dawn Patrol wine and settle in for the last heat of the day. It's going to be a great sunset. Casa Corona is pumping. There's plenty of things to do and happening down here. And we're watching some of the world's best surfers grace the walls of Super Tubes. 2 minutes, surfers. 2 minutes on the clock. Priority blue. Second priority white. Third priority red. So minutes and 30 seconds to go in this heat. And will the ocean provide something for the surfers out in the lineup? We'll see. It looks like the surfers positioning themselves out there. And it looks like there might be something on the horizon. And spinning and going for this one, Tidely Island. He's up and riding. No better feeling than surfing really fun waves at Super Tubes with only 2 other people out. Look at this section. Looking good. Nice carve off the top with a minute to go. Tidely Island looking to improve upon his score. Pulls into the barrel. He's super deep. He travels and he goes down. And here we go with Frederico. So the Portuguese surfer up and riding. He's going to highline that section. Gets around. Wraps it in the pockets. Progresses down the line. Nice floats over that section. Big bottom turn. Some beautiful surfing here from Frederico Moraes. And is he going to get the completion? Yes, he does. That was a surfer in the red, Frederico Moraes. So some great surfing there. 20-second surfers. Whew, giving us something to talk about right at the death of this heat. 10 seconds. And we're going to count you guys down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So guys, we will stand by for the next heat to start. Reason being, a score still to drop in for Frederico Moraes. He's already locked in an 8.0. And it looks like we're ready to count the next one down. We'll count you guys down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So quick change over there. Last heat of the day. It looks like Frederico holding on to that score of an 8.0. So that last ride doesn't surpass his score of an 8. And what a day it has been, Greg Emsley. This is the Twin Fin Round 1 heat number 4. I'm going to greet you guys for the day. I'll see you guys down on the deck. Maybe with an ice cold Corona later on. Hope to see you guys at Casa Corona. I'm going to hand over last heat of the day. Greg Emsley, hope you've been having a good one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get those buckets of Corona ordered. Let's watch some surfing. Mark Okilupo, up and riding, wraps off the top, straight up into another turn. Ox looking good on this one. Whacks a finish, doesn't hold on, but Oki looking good on that twin fin. I know he was hunting around for a good twin, but straight off on that wave. Looking comfortable. So of course Mark Okilupo had his 58th birthday a couple of days ago. So we got the first score in for red, a 3.33. So 40 minutes remaining in this heat. Just the one score on the board from young Mark Okilupo, 3.33. Up and riding Mark Okilupo. A smaller wave, he's just feeling that twin fin under his feet. All right, so we've got a non-competitor entering the water, that chap on the rocks. Please, if you can come back to shore. We have got 35 minutes still left in competition. We see a paddle out the back. Up and riding, this is James Ribbing. Jimmy, working this one through. And on a very good looking wave here is James. I bet Jason, his dad, spotting for him and got him on this one. But coming through the car park section, it's going to give him a bit of space to move now. He loads up, rips a nice carve off the top. This board's looking good. It's the Mayhem that he is on. And finishes with a nice crack off on the inside. So nice start there for James. So waiting for that score for first of white. Good evening, Murphy. So first of white comes in at a 5.67. So James Ribbink, your first wave, a 5.67. Last of red was a 1-point ride. So our leaderboard standing at this stage is Michael February is on top with a 9-point ride. Josh Kerr is lying second with an 8.17. Frederico Moraes in third with an 8-point ride, and Matt Wilkinson in fourth with a 7.33. The Jbay Classic. Our surfers are riding some classic looking surfboards here, the twin fin version of our hybrid format. Huge thank you once again to the sponsors, Corona, serving us ice cold Corona as well as the Corona Zero, so 0.0% alcohol. Go and have a sample, tastes great. So 32 minutes remaining in this heat. We've got James Ribbink with the highest score of this heat, a 5.67. Mark Oki Lupo with a 3.33. Ripping Rocky, just like Oki. So get your phones out, get a picture of the lineup. We've got the sunset along with the moonrise. Take a panoramic photo, put it on your Instagram. Let's tag the Jbay Classic along with Corona, Red Bull. Let's make memories here, folks. The first World Surf League specialty event ever at Super Tubes Jeffreys Bay. So happy hour is happening in the Casa Corona. So head over there. The view is amazing. I was chilling there in the last heat. Got to see that 9-point ride from Marky Feb up in Casa Corona. What a vibe up there. Really good viewpoint as well. So just looking at current priority, we got surfer in blue with priority. So blue has first priority, red holding second priority, white in third priority. So once again, surfer in blue, Sean Holmes has first priority. Mark Okilupo in red has second priority. And James Ribink in white with third priority. And we see Mark Okilupo with second priority having a look at this wave, a drawn out wall in front of him, using that high line technique to gain speed. Off the bottom, rips a beautiful first turn and hammers that second turn, Oki style, as we know. So just so awesome to watch a surfer, 58 years old, Mark Okilupo, still being able to pull off strong maneuvers like that. It's iconic, it's just legendary. So what a place to be here at the Jbay Classic 2024. 28 minutes to go.
I went by your house, what a big mistake. But for a while I thought that I wouldn't break. I need something else to clear my head. Someone to tell me how to live instead. Just open your eyes and take my advice. Stop rolling the dice and just compromise. It's the chance of your life.
So last of red, a 4.33. I went higher, but that's fine, that's me. 4.33 last of red. But Ok is my good mate, so he would have got mate points from me. But I'll tell you what, it's always good to see an iconic surfer of any age.
Without any thought, I keep moving on. I don't even care if my soul is gone. So many words that I should have said. Not concerned about how to
All right, so straight off the competition, we will be heading over to Casa Corona. We're going to be having a meet and greet. Our athletes are going to be there. Come and see your best invited surfer here at the Jbay Classic. So Casa Corona, come to our meet and greet. You can get the autograph signings, chat to the surfers, chat about the equipment they're using. Possibly you're wanting to order a twin fin. And you want a bit of advice, chat to the surfers. They're more than happy to guide you in the direction of their preferred equipment. So we've got about 26 minutes remaining. Paddling deep up the point. Ooh, having a little look at that wave. Not getting on it. So we do see a change in priority. So our priority judges deemed that Sean Holmes did paddle for that wave. So we now have a priority change. So white has first priority, red with second priority, and blue with third priority. So of course, you do lose priority if you paddle for a wave. And we did see Sean Holmes commit to that wave and have a good look and a good paddle. So sadly for him, he did lose that priority. So, fantastic evening setting up here. As I mentioned earlier, we have the sunset, the moonrise, and if you're wanting to get a photo of all of this with a panoramic view, now is a good time to start shooting it because our lineup's looking quite iconic right now. And we see some surfers having a look. Big paddle. Sean Holmes, but he has to give way for Mark Okilupo because Oki is older, but he also has a higher priority. Rips off the top, carves on the next turn. James Ribink out the back. James up and riding. Oki through the inside, whooping through that turn. Another slice. James with a big turn out the back. Oki sets up and Oki's out. Let's keep an eye on James Ribink. Vertical click. Section ahead. He's in the barrel. He's had to duck out of it. So good looking set wave here for James Ribink. We did see Mark Okilupo on that first one with a good couple of wraps off the top. Okay. Well, cheers, folks. I'm being stuck in the booth for most of the day, although I have been out and about. So I haven't had as much vitamin D as I would have liked. Normally I'm spending my day in the ocean, soaking up as much vitamin D from the sun as possible. So what I've done is I've grabbed a Corona Zero Sun Brew, and it's a source of vitamin D. So very healthy for you. 0.0% alcohol. And each sip is like a ray of sunshine. Fantastic. .5 minutes remaining. Last score coming in for Mark Okilupo, 5 points. Last of red, 5 points. I think it's time for the nemesis to catch a wave now. Sean Holmes. He's had 2 small scores. Of course, he's had to give way for priority, but he does have priority now. 21 minutes remaining. Can he find a decent wave of his own? Have a look at this, folks. Sean Holmes paddling into a very good looking wave. Holmes is up and riding. Holmes is working this one through. He's got loads of speed. Loads up. Rips off the top. Comes around. Slices off that section. Look at this wall ahead. He's in the barrel. And I never give up on Holmesy because he pulls some miracles at this spot, but unfortunately not threading through that tube ride. All right, so last of white was a 4.83. And last of blue, a 2.5. So in this current heat, our best score is James Ribbink with a 5.67. Mark Okilupo with a 5. But of course, we do look at the bigger picture. We are running the hybrid format with the leaderboard crossing over between the two board styles, the twin fin and the short board. So today we have focused on the twin fin. And our leaderboard will comprise of both formats being added together, the best wave from the twin fin and the best wave from the short board. We do currently in the men have Michael February with a 9-point ride, Josh Kerr in second with an 8.17, Federico Moraes with an 8, and Matt Wilkinson with a 7.33. So these surfers are not really surfing against each other in this heat, but they're surfing against everybody. So they really are aiming for a minimum of a 7.33 to get into that current top 4. I'll tell you the one advantage that this heat does have, with 17.5 minutes remaining, is when the sun starts to slowly disappear, this ocean often comes alive with a couple of waves and just a little bit, couple of good evening sets. So they might get lucky and get some of the better sets of the day, which of course you want to perform those good maneuvers and get the bigger scores. Paddling, up and riding, James Ribbink, the youngster out of Durban, on the Mayhem Twin Fin. This is the Parsees model. He loves this board. He's waiting patiently, setting up for the tube. Holmesy behind. James is getting some tube time, a bit of a cover up. Holmesy's looking a bit deep on that one. James is ripping through this inside. So looking solid, gets the free fall floater, holds on. So James Ribbink, the youngster out of Durban, he's also one of the Grit team riders. So representing here in the final heat of the day. So wait for that last score. 16 minutes remain. So, scores are in. Last of white, James Ribbink, a 6.07. So that is your best number in this heat, a 6.07. So it does help your score line. You're not into that top 4 yet, but you're in the lead in this heat. Thirteen minutes to go. And let's just take time to note the different shades of blue, pink, purple. What a fantastic evening. We've got a little bit of sunset, a moonrise. We are spoiled here in the Eastern Cape. Jeffreys Bay, Super Tube's the place to be this evening. So we are losing the sun rays as we go into the evening time. But don't worry, folks. If you go and purchase yourself a Corona Cero, it's a sun brew. You can get a bit of a source of vitamin D. And that will rejuvenate you. And we see up and riding James Rubink. Lots of wall, in fact, too much wall ahead. So don't forget the meet and greet after this heat up at Casa Corona. Come and say hello to your favorite athlete here at the Jbay Classic. Ten minutes remaining. James Rubink in white, your best score, a 6.07. Mark Okilupo in red, your best score, 5 points. Sean Holmes in blue, your best score, a 2.5. Paddling, up and riding. The Oxter. Flying down the line here. Working that high line. He's going to come around this section. No, he's not. So back in the day, and here I start again. The tour days. There used to be a crew of us that would fight to be in the water early morning. And Oki was part of that crew. We always try and be first out. And I remember another iconic surf spot, Bells Beach. They would start the morning, no commentator, nothing. The first song of the day would be AC/DC Hell's Bells. And they'd start with a dong, dong. And as you heard that ringing over Bells Beach, Oki used to say to us, if you catch a wave while the song's playing, you're going to get through your heat that day. And we believed it. You had to catch a wave and try and ride it in the warm-up. And that was ordered by the Ock. If you get home this evening, play that song, Hell's Bells. Listen to that bell ringing. Imagine that speaker over Bells Beach. But up and riding, Sean Holmes. Good looking wall ahead. Lovely trimming high line on that twin fin. So sets up. Smooth, clean calves. Keeping those rails free. Oh, he gets the variation with that layback. Comes through the inside car park section. Nice wrap all the way back into the white water. Nice and critical to finish. Down to 6 minutes now. So last 6 minutes of surfing for the day. Been a really entertaining day of surfing. We saw Team Gilmore take the team event this morning. And that was with Team Okalupa in second and Team De Souza coming in third. So we've got 5 minutes remaining. So we did see that team event a big success. We then went into the twin fin of the ladies. We saw Coco Ho with that great combo, finishing with a tube ride and being rewarded an 8.83. Sarah Baum with critical turns on her backhand. She's in second with an 8.33. Stephanie Gilmore in that same heat, right in the last minute. A couple of critical maneuvers came in with a 7.17. And then Sally Fitzgibbons with a 6.33 sitting in fourth. Currently in our men's division, we've got Michael February with a 9-point ride sitting on top of the leaderboard. Josh Kerr with an 8.17 in second. Frederico Moraes in third with an 8-point ride. And Matt Wilkinson holding down fourth with a 7.33. And I'll tell you what, he's also holding down the fourth there in the Casa Corona. waiting for the meet and greet. So we'll go through there in the next 5 minutes or so after this heat. So just under 4 minutes remaining in this one. Last score for surfer in blue, Sean Holmes, a 5.1. So that is your best score so far, Sean, a 5.1. And once again, huge thank you to our Water Patrol team. It's been a long day out on the water. Thanks, guys. Hopefully we'll see you once you've warmed up in the Casa Corona for a well-earned beer. But huge effort and much appreciated by all our surfers and of course all of us here in the competition area. 2.5 minutes remaining. Talk about using a full day of surfing. It's been a real treat. Thanks to our surfers, our invited surfers here. The WSL specialty event. The Jbay Classic. It's been a classic day. We've seen some classic waves ridden. Some classic single maneuvers. And it is the first World Surf League specialty event here at Jeffreys Bay. Into the last 2 minutes, we do see surfer in white, James Ribbink with first priority. Red, Marco Kilupa has second priority. And this surfer up and riding, Sean Holmes, he's out of that one. 90 seconds to go. So, big paddle at the top of the point. James Ribbink comes around. Oh, carves back to the whitewater, so a good turn to start. This wave just has a bit of downtime on it, and hopefully going to start standing up now for that snap off the top. So whips a couple of nice turns. And a beautiful roundhouse cutback, and rides out of it. So James Ribbink finishing up on the rocks in front of us here. So 40 seconds remaining. So under 30 seconds to go. Ten seconds. And we are going to count you out in 3, 2, 1. So, a huge thank you to all our surfers. Thanks to contest organizers, it's been a great day of surfing. We'll check back around 7:30 tomorrow morning. Once again, huge thank you to our sponsors, Corona, Red Bull, the Coca Municipality, Eastern Cape Provincial Government, the House of Mandela, the Freedom Project, Sealand, Dawn Patrol, and Grit. Enjoy your evening, folks. It's been a great day of surfing. We'll check back tomorrow, 7:30 for a call. Take care and have fun. Don't forget, right now, Casa Corona, we will see some of our invited surfers for a meet and greet. Come and have a beer. Come and talk to our surfers. Get your autograph. And most of all, as Graham Hahn says, have fun. Enjoy.